Hi, everyone. This is Angela Posillico, and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway. This show is all about pageantry, fashion, modeling, entertainment, and even the business industry. Before I introduce my next guest, and we are going around the world again today from India, which is absolutely amazing, I do have some very special announcements that I would like to make. First of all, 100 Successful Women in Business, their book is in Amazon and Target. I highly recommend that you purchase a copy. It is absolutely fantastic. You will read stories about the most amazing women and their accomplishments in the world and what they do to help people within their community. And right now, registrations are open and available for the next round of awards. And also, another great announcement is the big show for 100 Successful Women in Business is going to take place in London, England, August 24th to the 28th. You definitely do not want to miss that. And also remember, every Monday, Global Trade Chamber, the magazine, where you'll read stories about successful women and just business in general. And also, we invite you to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can see this, all of the announcements that we have to make, and just anything that we want to present to you in business and in the world, like I said, in fashion and pageantry. And you're going to see a lot of successful stories. So remember that. Also, the Olympics. I want to congratulate all the athletes that competed there. They were absolutely amazing. But the United States took gold in the men's figure skating, Nathan Chen. So we want to give a big round of applause to him and a shout out. Congratulations, Nathan, on winning that gold medal for the United States. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I have a wonderful guest. And I do want to say this. So many people are very misconstrued about the world of pageantry. They think you have to be a model to enter. That's not entirely true. We have a lot of women that are graduates from college and are businesswomen. And my next guest did just that. At the International Glamour Project this past summer, she won the title of Mrs. India. And we are so excited to have her compete at the next Miss International World Pageant in July as Miss International World Classic India. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Make Our World Your Runway, Dr. Florence Nalini. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Florence.
Namaste.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, Angela? I'm so excited.
Oh my God, we are so excited to have you, and I can't wait. I mean, I'm meeting you now, but I can't wait till you come into the United States in July and compete at the Miss International World Pageant. I think you're going to be fabulous. Your crown looks absolutely stunning. You look great. So, congratulations on all your accomplishments. And as I was just saying this morning, everybody I interview is a doctor. I better go out and get a doctorate's degree because now I feel like I got to match up. But you have so many accomplishments. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, we are just so honored to have you in the classic division because that's what classic is all about, accomplishments of women. So tell us about your doctorship. I mean, I know you're a doctor, but what do you actually doctor in?
So, I'm a doctorate in public administration as well as I'm pursuing my postdoctorateship in psychology. So, because I believe learning is a continuous process for me, and still I'm a student, I'm willing to learn and explore.
That's absolutely fabulous. I love that. People that want to continue with their education and want to continue to explore. I totally admire that. But with all your accomplishments, what made you get into the world of pageantry?
The world of pageantry is a different arena altogether for me because my line of profession is psychology and education. So I just wanted to learn something new and explore. So I thought, let me make a try. So what happened is I just had to come out of my comfort zones and I have to bring out all the fears what I had because I'm very I'm not a model, or I'm not in fashion industry. So it was already like a kind of dilemma, but still I wanted to explore. So that's what I just got introduced in this pageantry.
And you did a great job, and of course, you have a fabulous director, Dr. Ashata Prabhu, and I know Akshata's had so many accomplishments. She's a doctor herself in dentistry. She's a model. She's a mom, and I mean, sometimes she even comes out of her own comfort zone. But she's did a fabulous job with you ladies. So you have a great mentor in Dr. Akshata.
Yes, because the Dr. Akshata, like she's one of the wonderful person I've ever come across my life. Because if not Dr. Akshata, I would have not been here today. Because with all the guidance and the coaching, training, what she's given me, I'm here today in front of you. So it's a proud moment for me.
Yes, it is a proud moment. And it's a proud moment for me too, to not only have you, but to be connected with Dr. Akshata because she's done a lot for the Miss International World Organization. And I'm so happy that she is on the team. But I want to get to some of your other accomplishments. You were in India, Prime Top 100 Women Icon Award. I believe that's for Fox Clues. So tell us about that.
Yes, because Fox Clues is a survey station where it's a platform where they survey all the women across India. So I got selected as the top 100 women icon. So that's what I've been awarded for this same. So with seeing all my accomplishments, what I've been facing all these years to my throughout my journey.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And I know you're an entrepreneur. You have a very diverse academic background, language trainer and psychologist, but you also specialize in child and adolescent counseling because you're devoted to ending barriers that keep children from education and opportunities. So tell us, what do you actually do with that? I mean, that sounds terrific, but what are you doing so that these children will have opportunities in education and we can do away with those barriers?
So because what happened is like I just have my own story. I don't know like whether I can share it here. That's the reason which made me study so much, and still I'm studying. It's never ending because knowledge is like a horizon. And apart from that, I just want to concentrate in early childhood education, because here in preschool, what happens? Kids come here. We gave them an environment to learn about the life skills, because most of the kids lack life skills these days. Say for example, they don't have empathy, they're not they're good at problem solving or decision making, because these days kids are brought up in that way. So I want to do something for that area. And also we are just fostering on the young minds on the mental health also.
Yeah, no, that's great because you know what I always say, children are our future. And
Yes.
if you train them from when they're very small and you give them the tools that they need, that when they go out in the world, they can handle things. But they do need opportunities. There's so many children out there. We even see that here in the States that don't have education opportunities. And that is something that I know our present administration is trying to work on. So I applaud you for that. That's something that's very near and dear to my heart. That and climate change, but especially children. So thank you so much. And then you also received the Best Entrepreneur Award from the Global Triumph Foundation, which was the leadership summit in 2018. So tell us about that one as well.
So because I just started Sobai again with Global Summit. So it was a leadership honor for me, because I'm just heading in Tamil Nadu. It's a state in Tamil Nadu in India, where I'm just doing a lot of training with a preschool education. So I'm a like franchise partner with Little Millennium. It's a chain of preschools. So I do a lot of service in student development. So that's how I got honored for the same.
Wow, that's great. I mean, is there anything that you haven't done? I mean, you've got such a list of awards. It's absolutely amazing. And that's why I'm going through all of them because I think this is a wonderful opportunity for our listeners to really hear this, and especially the women that are going to be competing in the pageant. Because a lot of women that want to compete in the pageant feel that because they're not a model or they haven't done anything in that capacity that they cannot get involved, and that is totally not true. I mean, look at all the things that you've done, and I love the fact that you're going to be in the classic division because it can show women that are more mature and that have had these type of accomplishments, that having a title, that it's not just about parading on the stage and being in a beautiful gown, but you could really make a difference in the world. And that's something that you're doing. You're making a difference. So, I mean, besides all these things that you do, what do you actually do in your spare time? I mean, do you have any spare time at all?
Yes, of course, because I just keep juggling with all my work because I have mastered my art in multitasking. Because people say it's a myth, for me it's a lifesaver. Because I just plan my days in prior. Because I've got a board on my bed where I write down all the to-do list. So each and every day, every week, every month, I do plan. So in between, I take breaks also because I just strategize and plan out things in advance. So I just the me time. I do have me time every day, and I just spend those time with my family because family is everything for me. It starts and ends with family.
Exactly. Yeah. I have to do the same thing. I have to plan my days and my weeks ahead, or otherwise I'm not going to be able to juggle everything together. But one of the questions I do have for you, and it's something that we've been battling for the last almost 2 years now. Being you're a doctor, what was your assessment on COVID? Do you think that there was enough done? And how do you see COVID going forward? Do you think it's something that we could eradicate, or do you think it's something that we're just going to have to live with?
If you ask me about COVID, like I myself is a COVID survivor. I'm a real-time warrior. I got hit by COVID last year sometime by the month of April. That was during my pageantry. So I just got selected as a finalist by January month, and I got hit by COVID by April. I was suffering with fever for 29 days with 104-degree fever. It was a life or death situation. So people like everyone gave up, the doctors, everyone. I was in deathbed. So I was just in bed for 4 months. After 4 months, when I just stood up, I was started walking instead. And like I was completely down, and I just thought, like everyone said, will you come up? Or because my scores were very high and my lung involvement was only 35%. So what I thought is, so everybody will be suffering like this. So what will be the end? So one bad thing happened was like I was not vaccinated because in India I didn't
Yeah.
have the opportunity to get vaccinated for my age. I had to wait for 1 more month. By then, I got hit by COVID, but still I suffered a lot. But thank God, my family helped me a lot, and with lot of motivation from Dr. Akshata Prabhu and Dr. Swarup Puranik, very great people. They said, we don't know, like we are going to see you on stage, the grand finale stage. So that was a one big motivation for me to thrive and come back and stand and compete with others. So like I see COVID as it's a bad thing which has happened, but everybody is facing the same problem, and hopefully
Yes.
I'm praying for it to come to an end.
Yeah, I'm very confident that's coming to the end. But wow, you are really an accomplishment for someone to have gotten COVID and been in bed for 29 days and to get up on that stage. That is amazing. And you know what? I I always got involved with things, but it did hit home for me. Luckily, and I say this luckily, I have not had any bouts with COVID. I've gotten all my vaccines. But my cousin, who I grew up with, and we're more like sisters, when she got COVID, that was kind of the end for me. Okay. And that's when I realized that I had to get out there and do it. I always felt that I could do things in society, but now I felt I had to get out there and do more for society and really help
Yes,
people.
of course.
Uh,
I agree with you because what I'm doing is as soon as I just came out from COVID, I just got vaccinated, and whomever I see, I started advising them. Even if they scold me
yes.
back, I wanted them to get vaccinated. And I see people without the mask terribly, I'll go, mad. And I go to them and say, please wear your mask. And because it's a life
Right.
threatening thing, and even I got COVID. When I go share my story, I could create awareness, and people are aware of it. And I'm so happy that I'm helpful to the society.
Exactly. And right now, even in the States here, they're trying to balance it. They're trying to, loosen restrictions. Some people say it's a little too soon. I think personally, I think it's something we're going to have to live with. But I was very glad when our government started working with the Indian government and started sending vaccines over because that's very important. And I think right now around the world, we do have the tools to combat it. We've got the vaccines, like you say, when you can wear your mask, wear your mask. But I'm just so proud of you that after being in bed for 29 days, you got up on that stage and you proved that you can do anything. And I think you have I think you have the right attitude. So that story in itself is one that has to be told and is absolutely amazing. So I congratulate you on that. But also another ward that you have that I see that you work with children is contribution in student development for international education. And you got that in 2020. So again, tell us about that. I know it has to do with children, but tell us how you got that award.
See, based on that, I did lot of research for children. So how can they learn and how can they go about with all the education? So for me, my aspiration is 100% literacy should reach in India, because like in many parts of the village, especially in the rural areas, still education is not committed to that way, and parents are not trained to send their children to school. Instead, they make them work as child laborers. So I just want to like bring out all the kids and make them learn, and everybody should given the opportunity to learn, and they should get this education. So that is one part. And other thing, like I just took this opportunity with Dream and Believe Foundation here in the International Glamour Project, where my
Right.
project was right to education, child education, where I just around some 366 donors all around the globe supported me for this noble cause, and I
Wow.
collected around some $8,500. So I raise funds for this. So I'm so happy to work with Dream and Believe Foundation to bring these children
Yes.
to educate and take them to the next level.
Yeah, Dream and Belief Foundation is absolutely amazing. I have read all about that between Dr. Swaroop and Dr. Rakshata. They've done some wonderful things. They brought a lot of you ladies into that. They've even brought me into that. And you mentioned something about child labor, and it's funny you should say that. A lot of people don't think that in the United States that does exist. There's been a big study on that. There has been child labor, and that's something that has to be wiped out. So that's a great program that you have. Um, what would be your advice to parents and children today? Because I know it's very tough for people to balance having children, working, families. So, what would be your advice to parents on how they, with the world that we live in today, how to go forward with their children? What type of education do you think they should receive? And just, you know, uh, how to combat some of the things going on in the world today?
See, for me, a very sad part is what I'm seeing today is parents lacking social interaction with their own children. Because
Yes.
I'm just saying, for the past 2 years, it's so painful when I see parents, even in my own schools, they don't give much time for the children. They don't spend time with the children. Before pandemic, they had some time to take the children to the park, to some like some sort of recreational, like kind of activities. But these days what's happening is, since everybody is working from home, parents
Yes.
become more and more selfish, and they want to finish with the work, so they're with the system always. And the children, they put them in some online class, and they don't even monitor the kids what they are doing. And it's so sad to see the kids sitting all alone, they don't know how to
Yes.
operate also. But still, what we do is, we are talking to parents, we are creating a lot of orientation programs to them, and we just tell them like what is the importance of like parenting. Because these days parents do lack lot of interest with children. So that's what. And also children, what's happening with the children is, they are always with the social media or some sort of like with a mobile or some
Right.
sort of gadget. So that's making children more sick. It's like affecting their health, and they are wearing glasses. We can see everybody, 5 in
Yes.
10 children are wearing glasses, spectacles. So this is a very crucial situation. So somehow, like to my level, wherever I could reach out, I'm just trying to reach out and make parents and the children understand that life is like really beautiful, and please take it seriously, and don't lose yourself into these gadgets or all these things. So be connected. And these days children are lacking interpersonal relationships, so that's what is to be inculcated. That's my call on that.
This is a conversation that I really enjoy having because uh, some of the things that our government right now is having a problem with is number one, social media. A lot of children are getting a lot of misinformation on social media, and that's leading to mental health. I
Yes.
don't know if you saw it, but no one knew this that our former Miss USA suffered from mental health, and she jumped from her balcony in New York City and killed herself.
That's a sad thing to.
I mean, yeah, she was older, but no one knew that she was suffering from mental health. And like you said, a lot of parents are working from home. They're trying to get their work done because COVID has caused so many different things. A lot of offices still don't have people going, back to work. So they have to work from home. They have to do their job. And this has been the balance with the children going back to school. There's a lot of parents that wanted to have their children homeschool because they were afraid of their children getting COVID. A lot of teachers were afraid of getting it. But at the same time, if you don't get children back to school, they don't have interaction with other children. So now you have a problem with education. Children are lacking behind. So it's not a good situation all the way around. I understand that the parents have to work, so it's very hard to maybe interact or give the children some sort of attention. But at the same time, you have to give children attention. Children need that. They're growing up. They need to be in school. They need to be educated. They need to be around their friends. And what you said is very important. And that's why our government is kind of on the fence. They're having this fight. I mean, our federal government wants children to be in school. They want children to be open. That's why we've got the tools, like you say, masking, vaccines, so that they can stay there. They can get the attention they need, and parents can work, and there can be a balance. But on the other side, if we don't have that balance, you're right. Children are going to suffer on that. And when I look back at my childhood, okay, there were a lot of illnesses, but we didn't have to shut down. We didn't have COVID. We didn't have a worldwide pandemic. So even if our parents worked, they came home at a certain time. We sat down as a family and we had that interaction. You don't have that interaction today. And I think it's something that's lacking in our society. So being that you said that, um, what are some of the things, I mean, other than parents having interaction with children, what are some of the things you think that we could do as just people to try to help parents and children get that interaction?
See, that's what we are doing is, see, I'm part of few NGO organizations here in India. So I'm the vice chairperson of All Ladies League, where in my
Mhm.
state I'm heading around some 32 districts across the state, and I'm trying to talk to each and every district person. I've just appointed chairpersons and vice chairpersons. With them, I'm interacting and trying to do something for this. Like we are closely working with the government also in socio-legal foundation group, where I'm the president of the state again. So
Wow.
all these NGO organizations, I'm trying to do my level best. So whichever small thing what I can do, I'm starting from my city and my state and my country, so that it will spread globally also. So also I'm the vice chairperson of the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So where we are just training women like how to take care of their own children, because we talk about
Yes.
entrepreneurship council, but still we talk about children also, because it's all about women and children. So that's what
Yes.
we want today.
Yes, it is. A lot of it's about women and children. And it's funny you should say that because I was just recently approved to be on Business Leaders in Washington, D.C. And I had to write several resumes and I had to really present myself. And senators from both sides of the organization had to approve me. And I am just so honored now to be on Business Leaders in Washington. And this is something that I'm going to be bringing up also about climate change. And I have to say, you are really on a world stage. I mean, you're some of the things that you are talking about, you are really global. And, Dr. Akshata was nominated and she did receive, you see what's behind me, 100 Successful Women in Business, which is produced by the Global Trade Chamber. And I am going to be speaking to Dr. Akshata because I think you should be nominated for 100 Successful Women in Business. The things that you are doing, the things that you are saying has to be said around the world. And that's what I love because, so many people today want to argue and they want to go out in the street and they think they could change things with a gun or violence. No, that's not the way to change things. One of our former presidents many years ago, President Kennedy, said in one of his speeches, our problems are man made, therefore they can be solved by man. And what you're saying, they can be solved. We don't need to get out there and have violence. We don't need to go out and shoot somebody with a gun. Because I may disagree with someone doesn't mean that they're my enemy. And I mean, I'll tell you, I totally am enjoying this conversation because I feel
Same
like
here.
now I'm talking to somebody that believes in a lot what I do, and I feel like we're both on a world stage. So absolutely amazing. You're really doing a fabulous job. I don't know what else to say, but you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much, Angela.
So, what are your plans for the future? I mean, with all these awards that you've gone, best entrepreneur, best franchise. Oh, let's talk about that because we're going to be doing some franchise shows. You got the best franchise award for Little Millennium Change of preschools in India. So tell us about that one.
See, actually, as I told you, like I got this distant drive to be with the kids, and I want to contribute a lot to early childhood because this is a place where children learn many things. Like, the young minds, we have to nurture everything during the early childhood days. So that's what, like, also, like, I've been running some 4 to 5 centers in Chennai, that is in my state. That's the reason, like I taught pan India also for as Settlers Queen I was awarded because I just taught pan India because for bringing in lot of numbers in my place and also giving lot of contribution to the student development.
Yeah, I mean, everything you've done has just been absolutely amazing. You have a fabulous platform. I mean, children, parents. Another one of my favorite things is climate change. And I'll tell you why I'm into climate change. I believe that we've got to clean up the planet. There's a lot of natural resources that we are not using. And I also feel that, we've had COVID, but what do we know about other viruses that may take place? And if we don't have clean air and clean drinking water, we could be facing another pandemic. So that is something else. And I feel that children need clean water. They need clean air. If they are our future, if they're going to go on to survive, they need these things. So besides children, and besides me being an advocate for that, I'm definitely on climate change. That is one of my big things, is really climate change. So I think they both go hand in hand. But what are your plans for the future? I mean, you've done so much, but uh, what are you going to continue to do? And if you were to win the title, or the main title of Miss International World Classic, what would you do to promote that title?
See, first of all, like I will be happy when I win the title. It's a prestigious platform, and also like I can express my views and ideas to a larger gathering of audience, so I can reach out to them, and then I can enhance my personality, my strengths, and also I can raise my self-esteem, and I'll be so happy where I'll be getting a chance to interact with women from across the globe. So that
Yes.
will make me get transformed better because now I think like I've transformed to certain level. It's not complete transformation. So because life is all about learning again and again, so that will be a better opportunity for me. Also
It'll
my
be a
future.
fabulous opportunity. In fact, Dr. Kshater and I are trying to work with the United Nations about becoming ambassadors. And I'll tell you, you would be a fabulous ambassador. I could really see you on the world stage with so many different women. You could speak about so many different things. And I think that uh, the title you're in now and winning at the International Glamour Project, I can understand why you won because of your platforms and what you do. And I love the fact that you're really taking pageantry to another level because this is proving to women that you do not have to be a model. You don't have to go out there and, I mean, not saying anything against models. We've got a lot of girls that this week are in New York Fashion Week. That'll be in LA Fashion Week. But if you're not into that realm, you do not have to do that. You could still be in pageantry and make a difference. Because as I always say, it's not wearing the crown on your head or the sash, but it's what you wear in your heart. And you have done that. You have been absolutely amazing with that. So I mean, I love everything that you've said. Now, girls that want to enter a pageant, what exactly would you tell them? I mean, we've covered almost all the bases on that. But if anybody came to you for advice and said, you know what, I want to be in a pageant, what exactly would you tell them?
So I will say pageant is the best platform to transform yourself into a better version of yourself. And also this is the platform where you can find out, figure out who you are. You can identify yourself because that's what I'm sitting in front of you and talking. It's because see, for example, the changes were so tremendous for me in the terms of learnings and developments. For example, as I told you, I'm not a model or I'm not into fashion industry, but still I thought I want to make a try. So I had to come out of my comfort zones. I learned many new things, like for example, facing the camera. See, because if you just call out a larger group of audience and give me a mic, I can talk for hours and hours. But I become so nervous, and I'll get all mixed type of emotions facing in a Zoom call or facing a camera. So if the camera person comes in front of me, I'm unable to pose or I'm unable to face the camera first of all. But through this pageant, I learned how to face the camera, how to pose. I learned about hair care, skin care, makeup, and how
Yes.
to ramp walk with my pageant heels. And like I've just given lot of hope to women like me, because in my state and in my country, women think once they get married, everything is done, and when they
Yeah.
deliver a baby, again they're finished. They don't want to come out of the house, and they think they're not fit for anything. Like this is only with the family, and they don't want to go out, interact. So many things are happening. So I proved, and I am the torch bearer. I'm just training people, and I'm inspiring people. I'm motivating them to come out of their shell and to show them there's a different world called pageantry. So I'm so happy that I'm here today. Thank you.
Oh, no, you're quite welcome. And you're right about pageantry taught me a lot. Even though I was in the entertainment business, it was a little bit different. Now, with the entertainment business, of course, you still had to look good when you go out on stage. But as long as I could sing and as long as I could dance, that's what they worried about. And they didn't care if I was a 5'2" pygmy on stage, as long as I had the talent. But while I was working my way up in the entertainment industry, I was also in the cosmetic industry. And that's where I learned about makeup and hair and different clothes. And I was very lucky and very fortunate to work in New York City, worked my way up the ranks, and became a trainer for Lancome Cosmetics. And that's how I got into pageantry, because I used to have so many women used to come up to the counter and say, I need to know what makeup to wear. I don't think I'm beautiful. And they would just sort of go back into themselves. So it was my job to turn around and say, wait a minute, we're going to create a whole new look. And then I would start talking to them and find out, what their likes were. And all of a sudden, they would become a different person. And then
Yes.
I was getting asked to do their makeup at national pageants, international pageants. And I would have to say, under my watch, I had a few women that did win. So I was very happy about that. I must have done makeup for, I can't begin to tell you how many pageants. But here's the funniest thing: I was doing makeup for one of the pageants
And
one
you look
time.
beautiful with all your makeup.
Thank you. I
So
try.
I need
There's
to learn
days
from you.
I don't get it right. But at one of the pageants, they had the entertainer that didn't show up. Now I'm in the back doing makeup. I'm not dressed for it. Somebody said, well, Angela sings. I said, wait. I said, I'm back here working. I said, I'm not even ready for this today. They said, we don't care. And I was just lucky that I had one of my discs in the car. So I went out to perform. And from that time on, that was the end of me doing makeup at a pageant. Now I was the entertainer. And what I have to say about pageantry, and I always bring this out, when I entered the Mrs. New Jersey Globe pageant, and I won Mrs. New Jersey Globe, and I went to nationals and I made the top 10. I worked under a wonderful woman called Tracy Kemble, who's the owner of the Mrs. Globe pageant. To this day, she's still a fabulous mentor to me. And just as you said, you learn so much, like the way Dr. Akshata trains people. She trained me in a way. And when she managed my career, she did more for me than any one talent agency could have ever done. When she managed me, I was singing around the world. That's how I got known. People knew who I was. So I always tell women that you don't, you come into pageantry, you might be a little nervous, you might be a little shy, but we are going to open doors for you. And that's what this international world is all about: opportunities to open doors. And I know Dr. Akshata does that. And from what you're saying and your platforms, you are going to open doors for all women to follow you. So you should be very proud of that.
Yes, of course. Like today, what I'm all today is because of Dr. Akshata Prabhu and Dr. Ayman Swarup Puranik.
So, yeah.
She's a wonderful person, as I told you earlier, because
Yes.
she takes time and she gives you time for you to come out of your shell. Because initially, when I used to interact with her, I used to tell her every time I'm not a model. She says, "Don't say that. You're a role model." So that gave me a lot of hope and courage to continue in this journey. Also, every time when I say like I don't like to wear makeup, she says try and wear your makeup and then see yourself, as you look so like happy when you see yourself. So
Right.
likewise, every step she guided me one by one, and then she encouraged me. And that's all. Like, because I know words to say about Dr. Akshata Prabhu, because she's a wonderful person. She's
Yes.
a she's a real time darling, I should say. And also she's my one of, like, she's a guardian angel, because she was guiding me every then and there when I was when I was hit by COVID. I used to message her because I couldn't speak, because my lung was not involving 100%. So every
Yeah.
time telling, no, you can do it, you can do it, and that one word made me win, and I'm just sitting in front of you and talking.
Yes, she's absolutely amazing. And I know that she's inspired me a lot too. A lot of times when I'm confused on something, I will write her a note, and she's amazing. She does inspire people. And I've noticed that her and Dr. Swaroop, her husband, they are just the perfect pair. I mean, for everything that they do, the way they can inspire people and the way they can train people is amazing. But any last closing thoughts that you would have for our listeners that you would want to tell them?
See, I would like to say to the viewers that life is very short, and we should enjoy every bit and every moment. So we don't have any rights to take our life, because God has given this life, and we have to, like, travel, travel, travel until we reach our destiny. So that is my message for today.
Right, and that is a perfect message. Well, Dr. Nalini, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. You've been absolutely fabulous. I hope you will come back again and be our guest. But I look forward to seeing you in July. You keep doing what you're doing. Stay healthy. Thank you so much. And like I said again, July
Thank
15th to the 17th, when we present this International World Pageant on board Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, Margaritaville at Sea, we will see you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another great interview from India, Dr. Florence Nalini. We will see you next week when we interview another great guest. And remember, when you're on the show, make our world your runway. Thank you so much. We'll see you again.